Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have a balanced rack, no duplicates, but I can't see a bingo here. And it's a case of playing a short word and keeping a good rack leave, or playing a longer word for score. And I've got bitmap on my rack, which is quite tempting, keeping just the E. Let me see what this looks like. Bitmap for 30. The alternative would be to play BAP for 14, a drop of 16 points, but keeping time. Is time 15 points better than 16 points better than E? I don't think so. The other consideration when playing a longer word is the amount of floaters that you're providing for your opponent. I'm going with bitmap. I think it's a close call. So I'm now vowel heavy, which is one of the problems with playing off a lot of tiles. You have a lot less control over what your rack subsequently looks like. So I'm not bingoing with this rack. I could play veggie in row I, which would certainly sort the rack out to some extent, keeping just A and E. That doesn't play anywhere else. Bitmap just takes an S at the end. One double lane in column 11. Can't see anything which plays there. I don't think vowels are going to be particularly useful for me. Okay, opponent goes in my spot and gets rid of a lot of high scoring tiles. Wow, I thought I had Vegemite for a minute. I don't. I could play Vi, keeping A-double-E-G. Not great. It would be nice to get my G above the U, but I don't think I can do that. So, not looking great. Bi takes an A in front. So I could play, wow, I could play Vagi, keeping 3 E's. I think Vi is better. VE, V-I-A-E would sort the rack out better, but I can't see anywhere for that. Only an H goes underneath the C. So I suppose the other possibility would be a play in column 5. Can't see anything. I'm going to have to hope that I don't get swamped with vowels. Okay, opponent's gone. Let's see if he returns. Great, he's back. So I'm back to 3 E's, which is slightly non-bingo-y. I'm 1 tile away from gear case and acreages. There could be an 8 with this rack, but I haven't seen it so far. Now there is, but there isn't the right floater. I would have car geese through an R. Can't see anything with the V or the C. How about the T? Nothing there. Can't see anything with the M. And can't see a bingo through the P. I do have separages, but that burns the S, puts an E next to this double word square, so I don't particularly like that. No R. Decent score by my opponent. He's now in the lead by 16 points. A couple of new floaters to consider. Anything through an N Not that I can see. How about a D? No. So, how to sort this rack out? I note that my G can go next to the O, acknowledged, and although that isn't going to score a huge amount, it will stop my opponent putting a Z there. So what do I have coming down from that G? Well, gem is the best I can see, but that's not too bad. It's only slightly vowel heavy, and overall it's quite a bingo-y rack lead. It's not providing anything for my opponent. 19 points is pretty weak. Can I do better? I could play Seppard down from the C of Duchy. No, I don't have a P, I can't do that. What about playing Cage across here? 24 points, it's more points. It's an okay rack lead. And there are floating consonants in the V, N and D, which help address the vowel heaviness of the rack lead. And again, Cage is providing nothing for my opponent. I am leaving that O alone, or that triple letter square alone, but there's a second one beside the E, so that's not terrible. So I don't need to play off the C, it's a bingo-y tile. I could play Jean. 16 points, that's not worth doing. I need the points from a buy. I'm going with this. Fantastic, I draw the first blank, and it's a balanced rack. H, U and L, not great tiles to have together, but I'm optimistic that there is a bingo here. Can't see anything with the V. UV, not particularly useful. I do have the blank for making the un prefix and the up prefix. So I think unheals is good and bitmaps is good. So I have that in column 13, and that's heals spelt E-L-E-S. That remains available. The derb takes an S. So I'm inclined to go with this. I have spent a bit of time on earlier moves, so I think I'll catch some time up now. Great, I draw the X. I have Zoanon on my rack, or I would have it through an O rather. No massive X spots available. Through an E I would have Annex. Vi takes a D, S and W for future reference. Cage has killed the top left of the board, but I have a 70 or 80 point lead, so a tight board is a good thing. Now, opponent, quite a volatile move. He's opened up a pretty hot bingo lane in row A. He's also opened up column 15, which is less bingo-y. That does have some scoring potential. And I haven't really seen any good plays with this rack. Onto an A, I would have Zoana, no A's. I don't have to play the X off. Ah, look at this. X can go in front of ED. But I can't see a way of playing off an N, and I don't want to keep 3 N's. That's asking for trouble. Still a lot of O's to come, and I was thinking of playing niks in column 14. Well, I've also got axon down here, which sort of interferes with the scoring potential of the K, but does have the possibility of increasing its scoring potential if the opponent's got the right tile to go next to HA. 33 points is a decent score. I'm opening up column 15 for tiles which hook EN, but row A is still available. That's 33 points. What about Caxon? 28 points. I'm not too keen on this. I'm opening up a massive possibility parallel to Axon. And I think Caxon is better. Am I missing an X spot? Can't see anything which ends above the M. A or O could go there. Or is there something which burns these ends? No, not seeing anything. So Caxon 428. Not great. Duplicates and slightly low on vowels. Can't see anything down from the K or across row A. Can't see a bingo through the O. Wow, that was the danger with that spot. 68 points for my opponent. He's now trailing by just 20. That's a bingo-y score. And I've stuck another vowel next to a premium square here. So I need to play off the F and split up the duplicates. And that's not going to be easy. How about font? It does the job. It's a decent rack lead. It's a pretty shocking score, just 14 points. But the rack lead is good. Now I notice there's a Y here. Just wondering if I've got an FY or IFY ending play. Netify, tentify, either is good. Nothing through the K. I think I am inclined to go with font. Tine is a pretty good rack leave. Font for 14. And that's a dreadful pickup. This Merc play has provided these scoring opportunities, but they both remain available. And I've got just 1 pointers. I do have a lead of 30 points though. There could be a bingo with this rack through the right floater. Not too many floaters available on the board. Wow, just 1 point between us. Font only takes an S after it, 3 S's to come. Similarly with Derv. So, how about playing through this K? I've got Icon. For 27 points, slightly vowel heavy rack leave. But I think I will go with this. Just can't see a way of playing off another vowel or scoring anything like this number of points. Great, I draw the S. I have osteole in row A. And also in row M with TO. I am bingoing, and I wasn't expecting to. I kept 3 opponent bingos. So now, instead of going into the lead, I'm playing playing catch up. But I do have a bingo to catch up, which is good. So Stooley, I think, better than Ostiole because it doesn't put a vowel next to this triple letter square. 79 points. Is there a better spot? Caxon does take an S. Ulites, Toolies and Stooley and Ostiole. Neither of them play in row N. I don't have a play down from the V. So I'm going with this. Right, I just had a little problem with my camera. It stopped recording. So let's hope that this is being captured. I'm going with Stooley for 79. Well, not great, all one-pointers. Good to see the S, not so good to see all the vowels. 19 tiles in the bag. A lot of I's. 12 vowels out of 26. Okay, so quite a big risk of continuing my vowel glut. And I lead by just 20 points. The U's available, so qua and chin. Well, no N's, but qua is available. I have the last S. Interesting. If I draw an I, then I would have cheese for 36 points. Could be crucial. And my priority at the moment is to do something with this rack. And in particular, play off a couple of A's. And can I do that in a way which scores some points? Not sure I can. I don't think Rata is good. I think it's Tartar. FAA is good. Well, that's worth considering because I have an S for FAAS and none of the remaining tiles goes after that. Only 8 points, pretty tragic. Remaining tiles not looking bingo-y. All the blanks have gone, all the S's have gone, apart from the one on my rack. And in fact, my rack is quite bingo-y. And there are bingo lanes on this board. Column 1, row B. Column 3 onto ED. And row N. But I'm not currently close to a bingo. I could play AA, Han and E. 10 points, still pretty awful. Now, Arga, Par and Mad. 15 points, that's a lot better. Can't see a way of beginning with Eta. Med is good. So I think Arga is my preferred play right now. Hicks for 17. Okay, great. Nothing massive for my opponent. So Arga for 15. Great, I don't draw vowels. Do I have a bingo? Is there something through the V? Don't think so. What about a 7 with this rack? All bingo-y tiles, but I don't think there is a 7. Garots through a T. What about a play ending? Wow, 32 points for my opponent. Interesting, because Tef takes an F and an S. Chi takes an S, but I can't really score massively because nothing goes after A, E. So the best I can do is just cheese. But it's good to have that in my back pocket. I trail by 14. There are 11 tiles in the bag. 6 minutes on my clock. So a rack leave of AERS or even AERRS would be pretty good. Still two O's to come, so maybe I can play off a G and an O. Where can I do that? Yay is good, nothing goes in front of J or when. Two E's to come, I'd like to hang on to the one I've got. Well, what about just playing the S? 36 points. Rack-leave, pretty balanced. I don't want to be in a hurry to draw the U or the W. Not a hugely S-friendly board. Not just for bingos, but even for pluralizing non-bingos. I think the best I can do is something like Go and Ged for 12 points. Pretty painful in some respects, but 36 points is a decent score. I'm going with this. I draw the U. $23 points for my opponents, just 1 point between us. And 7 tiles in the bag, and they look pretty bingo-y. Opponent has blocked the bingo lane in column 1, apart from bingos beginning with V. I could play Emu. 23 points, decent score, balanced rack leave. And I quite like that because the board has just got very, very few scoring opportunities on it, and therefore 23 points is a decent score. Yep, I'm going with this. Well, what about... I'm just wondering about Wenge. How about playing Ugh? Let me look at the remaining vowels. 7 out of 14, okay. But Ugh, 25 points. It does retain the E. I'm going with this. I draw vowels, or a vowel and a consonant. I have aerator. Wow, an opponent has just blocked that aerator, would have played in row B. 3 minutes on my clock. And I trail by 4 points. The bag is empty. I can see what my opponent's got. He's got IILOTT. Is he going out with that? Probably not, in which case I'm in good shape if I can go out in 2. I was just wondering if aerator played underneath in row C. It doesn't. Do I have a play beginning with the V? I don't. Any other bingo lanes to consider? No. Only 2 minutes on my clock. So I have raw for 24 points, which is going to put me 20 points in the lead. Do I have 2 spots for T or eat? I do. I have a big spot in row C, EAT. And I also have eat in row L, so I'm certainly going out with this rack. But am I setting up a big scoring spot for my opponent? He's only got 1 point tiles, so probably not. I may have overlooked an out, in which case I lose, I think. But I don't think I have. So what's he going to do with this? If he plays lit, is that going to do the job for him? I don't think so. I think this is probably going to be enough. Do I have a bigger score in row C? I have tear. No, I think this does the job. Let's find out. So I lead by 20 points. Eat in 22 points for my opponent. Great, my opponent leads by 2, and I can win by playing eat above Ek once, but I've got a whole minute to find something better. Rye doesn't take any tiles after it that I've got. Yud is not good. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. So eat for 10. And the final score, 408 for my opponent, 420 for me, a winning margin of 12 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. So it was me to go first, and I played bitmap, and I still like that. So it was a choice between bitmap and bat leaving time. I think it's going to be close, but I think bitmap is better. Opponent's rack, he plays duchy. Now I didn't like this rack, and if you look at the rack leaves, you can see why there were no standout plays. So I went with Vi for 21, which is a similar score to the plays on offer here. Opponent plays nonish, which was a good spot. And I have a Val heavy rack. I play cage for 24, keeping double ES. Age for 21. Oh, just holding back the C. Does the C help double ES by 3 points? Probably does. So maybe age would have been a better play, and also setting up a bingo lane in column 6. Well, we're very level, so that's not necessarily a good thing. Horrible rack for my opponent. He plays Derv, and now I played unheals pretty quickly. B13, that's where I played it. And there were a few other bingos on offer. Opponent plays Merc for 20. He could have got 73 points for quiz. And Zoe, which would have been nice. Now, this was a rack I struggled with. I have the X, but I also have 3 N's. D14, I thought about Axon, feared a big overlap play in column 15. Went instead with Caxon for 28. And I still like that. Looking at these rack leaves, I think INN is probably the best on offer. Wow, this looks promising. No bingo, but look at this fantastic position for my opponent to be in. He gets 68 points for yes. He's retaining the blank, he's retaining QUA, so a really nice spot for him to be in. But he still trails by 20. I struggled here. I didn't like my play of font. Fit. Fit. Yep. Despite the double N, that would have been a better play. I play font. Opponent plays jaw. And there's just 1 point between us, and I've got a tricky rack with all 1-pointers. Wow, Toonie. Gosh, that didn't ring any bells. I played Icon for 1 more point. How does EIOT compare to just an I? Probably worse. It's retaining the E, but I think the 3 vowels heavily negative. So EIOT could be about 8 or 9 points worse than I think. Great spot by my opponent, the only available bingo. Fortunately, I can come straight back with Stooley, and opponent has the eyes, which is good for me. He plays picks, and now I play Arga for 15, and I like that, just looking at the scores and rack leaves. Not a nice rack for my opponent, plays fire. And now I trail by 14 with a pretty bingo-y rack, but I don't have one. Ah, look at that, Yes takes an O in front, so I could have played Gage-O for 30. I played Cheese for 36. Yeah, and that has its merits. And again, Jaw for 26. I think that's the play I would have made if I'd seen it. Jaw for 26. It's surprising, the O front hook for Yes just continues to elude me, and it's a really useful hook to know. Now opponent's rack, he plays Owl, keeping Dirl. Again, that spot remains available, but I don't see it, and I play Ugg for 25, which I like. Opponent plays Breedy for 28, but his fate is sealed. He's 4 points in the lead, but I don't think he can win from this position. So I play Raw for 24. No out for my opponent, although he does have that O spot there, but even that wouldn't be enough. He plays Loti for 22. And, well, I play Eat for 10. I could have got 2 more points somewhere. I'm playing Tade and Maid. And that was the end of that. So a really close game, just 12 points between us at the end, and it really came down to the final draws from the bag, and I was in a position of being able to go out in 2 and guarantee the win. So, I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.